If someone is considering filing a bankruptcy or consumer proposal due to some kind of marriage breakdown, what should people know about debts that relate to child or spousal support and how it's impacted by that filing? And maybe Donna, you could start us off.
Good question. So yes, if you have found yourself in the situation of, me filing an insolvency or my partner filing an insolvency, there are different types of creditors in an insolvency process. And one of the types of creditors is sometimes it can be property settlement payments, but then there is also a special treatment for support payments, whether it's child support or spousal support. So there is a section in the laws that says that that type of debt does have special priority, and that can come into play in determining how I'm going to deal with the other debt that I may have. So there is special treatment. A second point would be that that debt survives. So, for example, if you found yourself in the situation of filing a bankruptcy or filing a consumer proposal, any support obligations that you've been ordered to pay will survive. At the end of the day, they won't go away, which makes sense. It is an obligation that survives. So the only order that can vary that obligation would be the family court system. The third thing I guess I could think of would be if, again, you have been ordered to pay support and if you have filed an insolvency to deal with your other debt, that there is no stay of proceedings. If, for example, maintenance maybe has become involved to garnishee, or you're just making payments voluntarily to maintenance enforcement, that obligation doesn't stop. So as you're sorting out your options to deal with your other debt, the payment to the support order will have to continue on. And that's important when you're looking at your budgeting and when you're looking at how to deal with your other debt. So a little bit of special treatment for any support arrears that you might have.
Oh, thanks, Donna. And Pam, what have you seen?
Yeah, I think that's really important to understand. If you have a garnishee in place with maintenance enforcement on your employment wages, that those don't stop. I know in Saskatchewan, they have been okay to deal with. They'll either just start taking just the regular monthly payments and let the arrears, he can deal with that or she could deal with that at the end of the process, just to ensure that they allow for payment to his creditors through the bankruptcy or the proposal, whichever the individual decides to choose. Just ensure when we were talking with the individual, that obligation does not go away is one of the most important things, and that we do want to maximize the recovery for the other creditors as well. So maintenance enforcement it is 100% up to them, but we've have a good relationship with them, and they do tend to allow for just the regular monthly payment as a garnishee versus that plus the arrears. So making sure you're talking to a trustee, and it does vary by province. So please ensure you're speaking with someone in your own province that understands the rules regarding that. And of course, when you're dealing with maintenance enforcement, we do advise our debtor or the individual to reach out to them themselves to clarify what the arrears are, how much is left owing, so that they can build a budget and we can help them build a budget for dealing with that debt once they have completed the process as well.
Oh, thanks, Pam. And Leah, what do you see out in your area?
In British Columbia, I'm seeing similar to what Pam's experiencing, in that we always recommend that the individual reach out and talk to the Family Maintenance Enforcement Program, whomever the officer is on their account, and continue to communicate with them what their current circumstances are, especially their income and expenses, because again, that debt does survive whether the individual files a proposal or a bankruptcy. The debt's not going away. It's part of the process, and they are given a priority. So if an individual is making payments into a proposal or a bankruptcy, the family maintenance enforcement debt is being paid before the other creditors. But quite often they're not being paid in full. So the individual has to be aware that when they complete their proposal or their bankruptcy, there's likely going to be some form of support debt that remains outstanding. So Pam said it very well. Ensure you're speaking to a licensed professional and one licensed in the province where your family maintenance is in effect, because there are different provincial rules that surround maintenance enforcement.